Ah, Minecraft. The night sky makes me dream of flight. If only I could go sailing across the sky like the stars themselves. Minecraft. Absolutely no memes. Words to live by. Hello, and welcome back to Exploration and Tactics with Brian. And I think it's finally time. We've done a little bit of experimenting and talking about it, and I think it's finally time if I want to construct the boating bridge that I am going to do it. And so I've done a little bit of scouting around and thinking about it, and I decided I'm going to use the boating bridge to connect this main base back to the north, back to my spawn point. Is it north or south? I always forget. In any case, I've already erected, which will be kind of the dock of this place up here. And so we're going to sail across the sky, south through the desert. We'll pass a swamp on this side and eventually a jungle on that side and be arriving back in kind of the ice biome back there. And I have the materials I think I'm going to need on me, basically a bunch of dirt scaffolding, as well as ice blocks. I expect I'm going to fall at least once or twice when I'm constructing this, and so I've got feather falling boots so that I'll be able to survive the fall. And at some point, day will give way to night, and so I've got a bed on me, so I'm ready for that, as well as some other miscellaneous inventory that I've still been carrying around from other adventures. But I think what we need to do in order to build this is basically, my plan is something like this. So you have an ice block, and then I need 3 pieces of scaffolding before the other ice block in this row. And then over here, against the middle one, there'll be an ice block there. And then I just kind of repeat that same pattern over again. 3 pieces of dirt scaffolding, an ice block, and then a piece of ice against the middle of the scaffolding there, and then the pattern just repeats. And so my plan is to go like this, basically. I'm going to go ahead and leave some extra dirt over here. But I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to construct this and that everything is going to work before I do too much. And so I think this is long enough that I can use as kind of my test area. And so I'm going to go ahead and break a couple pieces of scaffolding right there. And then come back and kind of break this. Oops. All right, we lost one of my ice blocks. I didn't mean to do that. This shovel is too powerful. I need to be very careful with it. Might need to use a different shovel in the construction. This is why we do a little bit of testing as we get started. But then I'm going to break away the scaffolding. Oop, for the main part of this. I almost just fell right there. And then the other thing I need to do is melt the ice blocks. And I couldn't come up with any clever way to melt the ice blocks that didn't involve another row of scaffolding. And I actually don't have a good place to start another row of scaffolding here. And so basically I'm going to climb down and do another kind of row of scaffolding below it where I can put torches to melt the ice. So let me get that started, and I'll be right back with you guys in a moment. Okay, after futzing around for a little bit, I think this is what I need. I have a row of scaffolding over here. That's basically so I'm at head level with the ice that I have just placed, and just one row to the side of it. And so now I believe I could place, for example, a torch right here, and it is not adjacent to any of these ice blocks, but I think it is close enough to the ice that it would melt both of those, and then similarly this one should be close enough to melt both of these two, I believe. And this one should melt both of these two. And so I'm going to wait a little bit of time and see if they do indeed melt. After a bit of waiting, I actually just slept away the night, only these ice blocks have unfrozen, and so it seems like I'm also going to need torches that are just a little bit closer to the other row that is a little further away. And so I will go ahead and put down these torches and make sure that that row unfreezes. A watched pot never boils is the expression, but what really happens is that a watched ice block never wants to melt. There we go, finally. Thank you, ice block. Okay, now that I have enough, again, as proof of concept, let's once again just go ahead and test the whole system before I go building a mile of this thing. So I put in the boat, I hop in, and we are sailing across the sky, which is awesome. Ouch. I didn't realize I was going to take fall damage from that. Nevertheless, thank you, boat. You were doing awesome things for me. All right, and so now I think I know exactly what I need to do, and I know that my construction plan is going to work. None of the things that I've put down on the scaffolding line are adjacent to any of these floating water blocks, and so I can just tear it all down when I'm done, and it's not going to disrupt any of the floating water. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and I'll leave the scaffolding line up because it's kind of my easy access back to get back up to this line of scaffolding that I need to recreate as I put down more of the ice blocks. And so, yes, I believe this is going to go right here. Great. And so I'm going to get back to placing a bunch of ice blocks just with the pattern that we had before. And yeah, I guess I'll do this until my inventory runs out. And then I'll go back and I'll add the other line of scaffolding to add the torches to melt it all, and then perhaps we will have an awesome bridge. As I might have mentioned, I also have come up with a name for this crazy boating bridge in the sky contraption that I've got going on here. And the name I happen to think is pretty funny, hilarious perhaps, but we will reveal that to you before the end of the episode. For right now, you can just speculate. But so far, the construction seems to be going pretty straightforward. I'm starting to get into a bit of a rhythm, and so making some real progress. The sun's about to go down, so I've come back to the bed to rest, and I only had enough material. I've gone through one stack so far of ice, probably to go a couple hundred blocks, but that'll be good enough to really get a feel for how this is going to go. And then we are bridging back out to the south where there's an ice biome where I'll be able to make a whole bunch more ice. And I've got a couple of Silk Touch picks at this point, as well as a Silk Touch shovel, which I want to try out on the ice, because I can't remember if we've tried that out, because I think that might work as well. And yeah, so I think we're in good shape to get this going a good long ways. And so I'm going to continue bridging, and yeah, and then we'll work on the scaffolding to heat up all these ice bricks. Alright, I haven't quite run out of ice, but I am close. And I think now is the appropriate time to start tearing down all of this ice scaffolding. And I have a few pieces of ice left, just in case I accidentally break an ice block while I'm tearing down the ice scaffolding. But basically, I'm just going to kind of run in every little section of 3 and knock down these pieces of dirt. And then this dirt is actually really useful scaffolding, and so I'm going to go and pick it up to then build the torch scaffolding in just a moment. But let me do all of this. Now this has to be one of the easiest parts of the project's construction, don't you agree? And now that I have a long line of torch scaffolding, I just need to place the torches, and the pattern is 2 torches, and then 2 blanks, and then 2 torches, and then 2 blanks. And so I've got a torch here and here. This guy can melt this, and this guy can melt this, and then 2 blanks, and then here and here, and 2 blanks, and here and here, and 2 blanks, and so on and so forth. This part is also extremely straightforward. And I didn't have enough torches for the entire thing so far, but that's okay, because as you can see, it is indeed melting all of this water, and so now I can just go back and reclaim my dirt scaffolding and reclaim my torches and finish off all the ice blocks that I've already placed. And so I'll see you guys at the end. Alright, and so now the only danger is to make sure we don't overtake any of the ice that has not yet unfrozen, but basically I can just go and kind of knock out all of this scaffolding as I go on by, which will be very easy to do with this awesome shovel, assuming that I can actually hit the dirt blocks rather than the torches. And we're coming up on an ice block here, and so I'll have to do a little bit of waiting. And so I guess rather than waiting, I'll go ahead and pick up, yes, all of the dirt that I'm leaving behind, and let the rest of that go ahead and refreeze, And I'll just have to use the dirt to kind of pillar and climb back up to my scaffolding to keep going, but that's okay. And look, there's somewhere where I can jump in, whee, without having to take fall damage. Although I've got the feather falling boots on, and so we're going to be in good shape regardless. But we will reclaim all of these materials. Yes, this is going swimmingly. Swimmingly, haha. I just went for a short swim. Soon I will be going for a much longer boat. Awesome. Even under construction, it's a beautiful sight to behold. But alas, another day has gone by, and so it is time to sleep for the night, and tomorrow we will finish this section of construction. Nighttime! Alright, I need to get back up there. So, alley-oop. This also gives a sense of how high into the air all of this is. And now, once again... Oops, I am swimming inside this water. Let's be careful there. Let's get back out of here so I'm standing on the block. Alright, great. And then I can tear this down. Out, out, darn scaffolding. You are no longer needed. Alright, I was just looking back, and I can see that I am catching up to some of the ice that is not yet unfrozen. And so that is fine, because I have all these lovely dirt blocks and torches that I do not want to despawn. And so, I will use my feather falling boots. Yeah! Ouch! Only one heart. Haha! Feather falling to the rescue. Alright, and now we can pick up all of these delicious, delicious dirt blocks and torches and keep going. I command you to melt! Melt, ice block! Feel the warmth of the torches! You must melt like all of your friends. It's the right thing to do. Yes! There you go! I'm so persuasive. Floating block of ice, floating block of ice, you are so magical. Words to live by. This is just an awesome sight to behold. I can't wait to ride it tomorrow morning. The time has come. Woohoo! Look at me, I'm on a boat. Words to live by. In the sky. It's almost like flying. Woohoo! Boating, boating, boating. And here is all I've built. Awesome. We can continue that in the future and eventually bring it all the way back to the south to the ice biome and the jungle and back over near where we spawned. Woohoo! Oh yes, and I think I told you that I had a clever name for this thing, and so now it's time to share that. It is Brian's Awesome Boating Bridge, yeah! Or the acronym BABBY. And since I've showed you how to build it, now you guys finally know how is BABBY formed. Words to live by. I'm on a boat. In the sky. Every time I do awesome science experiments, it's always the case that we have visitors. Previously, I experimented with ender pearls. Oh, wow! Wow! Did you guys see that? Apparently, the iron golem is not friendly to the pigman. That was awesome, and now he wants to give us a rose. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, golem. Wow. But yes, when I've done experiments with ender pearls, we always had endermen peeking up at my base. And now that I've been doing experiments with boating across the sky, now the pigmen want to come and see what's up. But the iron golem just had nothing to do with that. That is super funny and cool. Ah, that amuses me greatly. Alright, so that's it for today. Kind of a shorter episode, but it was a lot of fun to make, and I had fun being silly, and so I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you're having a great day. I'll see you guys again soon.